A smart nation is where the citizens are able to connect to the government and are able to access the services efficiently, and then the nation is able to deliver on the promises of safety, security, health, and self-actualization, achieving dreams effectively.
When I think of a smart nation, I think of leveraging services in a way that makes my life easier. So taking information and technology and integrating it in a way such that it's more efficient, it's friendlier, it makes my life easier.
Smart connected nation, I think it follows, I suppose, the generally accepted definition where everybody has access to all kinds of different services no matter where they are, no matter what time of day, and at a reasonable price.
One of the greatest inventions, certainly, of the last 25, 30 years is the internet. And the reason, one of the reasons why it's been so great is it's really democratized information. It's allowed people to get access to things that could improve their lives. If you don't have that access, you miss out on these capabilities. And so if we can't bridge the gap in connectivity, we'll continue to have another gap between those who have created and those who have not. People talk about the gap between the have and the have-nots, but in fact I would even argue that there's yet another gap that's even accelerating, and that's what some call the hyper-connected gap. Those that are fully integrated and connected, like a smart nation style of connectivity, are accelerating even faster than those who have simple connectivity.
Transforming a country into a connected nation involves some very big challenges. First challenge is that of regulatory policy. You need to have a way of transmitting broadband, having the pipes be open, having the pipes be fairly competitive, having it be affordable, and having the quality work okay. That requires a lot of underlying infrastructure, whether it's cables, electricity, connections, whatever the case may be. The second factor is education. People need to know how to use information technology. They have to not only be willing to try it, but they have to bring to the technology the human capital to use it wisely, rather than to, say, spread baseless rumors or learn the wrong things.
I think there are a number of challenges. Some of them are just economic, to the extent that obviously to develop the infrastructure to support a smart connected nation, you have to have a lot of investment. So for some of the poorer developing nations, that's just not one of their top priorities. Their main priority is maybe just providing basic services to the people, even water, things like that in some countries. Another big consideration in some countries is just one of the geographic nature of the country, especially countries where there may be, they have big cities, but they also have remote areas, and how to connect those efficiently, or even if some parts of the nation are located in different islands in that particular country.
For a nation to progress as a smart nation, it needs to have certain building blocks in place. First of all, a strong vision, and realistic one, that's been communicated at the highest levels of leadership and is continued and echoed throughout the entire nation. Singapore is an excellent example of that. No matter where you turn, you're either reading about the Prime Minister talking in the paper about Smart Nation, or you're reading about multinationals or even small companies doing unique things with information and data and helping their customers and their staff access better resources more cheaply, be more productive, and be able to deliver on what they promise, on the promises of smart nations. The maturity to that is one of, first, great policy setting. A policy that needs to be in place where access to resources and the control and security are already in place.
Well, one of the things that I think is really important is dialogue, simply put. I think there's so much technology and so much new models of the way in which we can operate that it's happening so fast that we can't all keep up. And people, particularly public officials, are really challenged at trying to meet the needs of their people that they've been put into power to oversee. and understand what is happening in this technology world. And it's not easy for them. But they need a place and they need the opportunity to talk about that, to really understand what's happening. You know, today you're going to get a lobbyist from one industry, and you're going to get a lobbyist from another industry, and then you may get some civil society leaders, and they're all talking at you in different languages. We got to get away from being talked at and being part of the conversation. If we can work better around dialogue and engagement, I think we can move better and more efficiently forward.
So making information technology work, it's a complex process. It has many steps. That's why, in my opinion, the world is actually only in the early stages of putting the internet to use for us. So there's a lot more low-hanging fruit from information technology in healthcare, in education, in government, in virtually every economic sector that we're just starting to realize.